All right, let's dive right into this explainer. We're going to tackle a massive pain point I know we've all felt. Wading through literally thousands of pages of business book fluff just to dig out a few actionable nuggets of gold. I mean, be honest with yourself. Who actually has the time to sit down and read 40 dense business books? If you've been putting off reading, or maybe feeling a little guilty staring at that giant stack on your nightstand, it's probably because, 90% of it is, frankly, just waffle. Well, the source material we're breaking down today takes 40 of the top business books and completely distills them. Today, I'm handing you just that 10% pure gold. To keep things super efficient, we're going to use a 4-pillar blueprint today. 1. Start with no money. 2. Sell anything to anyone. 3. Market your business effectively. And 4. Manage money like the 1%. Okay, pillar 1. Start with no money. Finding your unfair advantage. You know how society is always telling us to fix our flaws? Well, actually, scratch that. StrengthsFinder 2.0 introduces this amazing concept called the Tiger Woods multiplier. Think about it. If you and a young Tiger Woods both practice golf for an hour, his innate talent is going to yield 10 times the results. What this means is you absolutely must focus your investment on what you're already naturally good at, and just find other people to fill in your weak spots. So once you know your strength, you need a killer idea. Peter Thiel's book 0 to 1 proves that true billion-dollar ideas stem from betting on a contrarian truth. A truth about the future that everyone else is too afraid to admit. Just look at Steve Jobs removing physical buttons from the iPhone when BlackBerry completely ruled the world. People thought he was literally crazy. But going against the grain like that lets you carve out a massive advantage before anyone else even realizes what you're up to. But here's the real kicker. How do you actually launch that idea? Have you heard of the Dropbox fake video method? Following the lean startup methodology, Dropbox secured undeniable proof of demand without spending a single dime. They didn't hide in a basement for months building a perfect product. No way. Instead, they just put out a fake video of a completely non-existent product to show how it would work. That simple minimum viable product grew their waitlist from 5,000 to 75,000 people practically overnight. And when it's time to actually get to work, you can literally double your income by applying the 12-week year. Have you heard of Parkinson's law? It states that work expands to fill the time we give it. So by treating 12 weeks as a full 12 months, you forcefully create that frantic end-of-year deadline rush 4 times a year. You confront your results every single quarter and completely crush procrastination. Moving right along to pillar 2, sell anything to anyone. Mastering persuasion. Picture this. A consultant kept getting squeezed for discounts by his clients. So he started opening his pitches by jokingly saying, "Well, as you can see, I can't exactly charge you $1 million for this." It's brilliant. This perfectly illustrates price anchoring. By casually throwing out that $1 million figure first, it became the anchor in their minds. It allowed him to comfortably set his real price at $75,000, and boom, nobody ever asked for a discount again. But hey, closing a deal isn't just about throwing out numbers, right? It's about attunement. The book, To Sell is Human, highlights a really cool mock gas station negotiation experiment. It actually proved that cognitive empathy, literally mapping out exactly what the other side is thinking, rather than just feeling bad for them, is the real secret to closing a successful deal. So, what happens when you face major resistance? You need the ultimate calibrated question from Never Split the Difference. Imagine your landlord drops a massive $1,700 rent hike on you. Instead of blowing up and getting angry, you calmly ask, "How am I supposed to do that when I only make enough to afford $1,500? It completely flips the script. It turns a confrontation into a collaborative problem-solving session by forcing them to look at your constraints. Okay, and when you're finally sealing the deal, never, ever leave a pitch without a firm micro-commitment. If someone tells you they're busy, you acknowledge it, you propose a quick chat, but you lock it down using specific times. Say something like, "Would Friday at 3:30 work for you?" Using exact dates and times makes it so much easier for the prospect to just say yes, rather than dreaming up a new objection. That brings us to pillar 3, market your business effectively, cutting through the noise. Seth Godin has this amazing concept to cut through our crazy ad-saturated world. He says you have to add a 6th P to the classic marketing mix. You must be the purple cow. Think about it. A brown cow on the side of the highway, completely invisible. You wouldn't even look twice. But a purple cow? That literally forces people to pull their cars over and take a selfie. Your business has to be genuinely remarkable to get people talking. But wait, are you actually building something people want? You might be getting your feedback all wrong. The mom test proves you should absolutely never ask your friends or family for their opinions on your raw idea. They love you, so they're just going to feed you blind encouragement. Instead, ask about their life context. Ask them about the real frustrations they've had in the past to avoid that fake validation and uncover genuine demand. Once you know the demand is there, here's a harsh truth. Customers really only care about themselves. The Story Brand Framework shows us how to use the classic hero's journey in our marketing. It's a game changer. You must cast the customer as the hero of the story. Position your business merely as their trusty guide, giving them the plan they need to conquer their own problems. And once they're in the door, don't leave money on the table. Use the classic dentist office value ladder from .com Secrets to seamlessly upsell the customers who already trust you. Think of how it works. They start with a simple, cheap checkup, right? But because you've proven your value, they naturally ascend the ladder, step by step, all the way up to cosmetic surgery. And finally, Pillar 4, manage money like the 1%, protecting the wealth. Most businesses out there are basically cash-hungry beasts, and it's because of a totally flawed accounting formula. They take their sales, subtract their expenses, and just cross their fingers hoping for a profit. The book Profit First completely flips this on its head. Take your sales, immediately remove your profit, and run the company on whatever's left over. By taking your profit first, you literally force your business to run so much more efficiently. And you absolutely have to protect that hard-earned cash. Get a load of this number, 5,770. That's the number of pages in the U.S. tax code, which is roughly 99.5% of the entire document, by the way, dedicated entirely to helping you legally avoid paying taxes. Governments actually want to stimulate the economy, which is exactly why hiring a brilliant accountant is the best investment you'll ever make. Now, as your money grows, you've got to stay incredibly rational. The legendary book, The Intelligent Investor, warns us not to act like total amateurs. Imagine you have a manic, overly emotional business partner named Mr. Market. You wouldn't let his daily mood swings dictate your business's actual underlying value, would you? You simply cannot let the daily emotional noise of the market sway your long-term decisions. All right, before we wrap up this explainer, let's do a quick test of our own blind spots. A bat and a ball cost $1.10 in total. The bat costs exactly $1 more than the ball. So, how much does a ball cost? Be honest with yourself. Did your brain instantly scream 10 cents? Or did you pause and realize the actual answer is 5 cents? Because if the ball is 10 cents, the bat would be $1.10, bringing the total to $1.20. That little math trick right there, it perfectly reveals our ultimate takeaway today. As the book Thinking Fast and Slow proves, protecting your wealth requires fighting your fast, intuitive assumptions, your System 1. You have to actively engage your slower, highly analytical mind, your System 2. So if you really want to build and keep your wealth using all these amazing frameworks we've covered, you have to ask yourself one final question. Which system is running your life right now?